Hello, Nari McDiarmid for Aspermont, and it's great to be speaking with Chris Jordaan, Chief Operating Officer with emerging critical minerals producer, Australian Strategic Materials. Now, Chris, you've recently received some debt funding offers from US and Canadian credit agencies. So what does this mean in terms of the project development and also international relationships?
Yeah, maybe two things that I'd like to share there. Firstly, from US EXIM, Export-Import Bank of the US, we received a letter of interest for around about 900 million Australian, and then an additional 400 million on top of that from the EDC. Now, of course, that goes hand in hand with suppliers and service providers providing services and products to the project. The money is specifically there that will be utilized to construct and build the facility. As I said earlier, the project comes to about $1.7 billion Australian at this stage. And we are especially interested in building our footprint further and broader in the world. And of course, having the support from US EXIM and the EDC certainly opens those opportunities.
Well, in terms of broadening your footprint, as you just mentioned, Chris, where do you see Australia fitting in terms of its role in supplying the rare earth supply chain, the magnets?
Yeah, well, there's no doubt Australia has abundant resources in critical minerals, and many first world countries have announced what the critical minerals list is, and I think Australia has to jump at this opportunity. There's really an increasing and I think accelerating need for these materials in a supply chain which carries significantly less jurisdictional risk as what is currently the case in the critical mineral space. From a Dubbo or ASM perspective, where our project is in Dubbo, we have the unique opportunity to mine several critical minerals from a single ore body, so it's polymetallic. And we believe that the Australian government and Australian powers that be take notice of this project and, of course, the other projects. In fact, our process plant will probably be the second of its type in the country, and I'm hoping to see several more in the future.
Wonderful. And finally, Chris, what enticed you to attend Future of Mining this year?
Well, I think the key for me is in the world future. Mining has to change and is changing. I think the challenge that we're dealing with in mining is that the change in mining is too slow. The fact that there are very strong and specific targets set out for the near-term future, I mean, 2030 is not a long way off. It's going to be really important that the mining industry, pull up the socks and get into really investing into technology that will enable mining industry to catch up to the rest of the world, specifically in comparison to the petrochemical industry.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to speak today.
Thank you.